Hello there, how's your day? Ame Gakita.
Abel-san, hello there, how's your day? Okay, anyway, I was actually kind of like, in case anyone wondering, I was actually kind of like, I was supposed to stream a bit earlier, like 1 hour earlier, but somehow, somewhere, because I was actually testing some system out, so, ended up taking a bit longer than I expected. But other than that, I was actually checking things out, as well as like I still kind of like just wondering a little bit on the OBS system and stuff, and I was actually kind of like checking if the system workable on my PC or something along the line, because it's kind of like confusing in a sense. And one of the system that I'm using right now, at the very least, right, like normally, if you guys don't know, I have to like open up 2 windows just to check out the chat, and it's kind of like not put together on the Streamlet in a sense. So I was actually kind of like wondering how am I gonna go about it, and somehow, somewhere, the system that I come across, one home, was able to let me use it properly. So I am able to, like, you guys won't be able to see the chat properly, but I would technically consider like jumping over, and you want me to say hi. So at the very least, right, as long as the system works, it is a good thing though, especially more towards like the system on my end, kind of like a lot of things I have to work about it, and if the system work, it would be great, but at the same time, at the moment, I'm not sure on how to make it workable in a way that I can get used to it. So as for right now, still working on it in a way so that I can understand on things on it work. And Jordan-san, hello there, how's today? But at the very least, like, today it is my birthday. I mean, and I'm just kind of like admitting that I'm an old man, became an old man. I don't know how the statement work. Okay, I mean, like, how old, when you guys call an old man is old man, but when you get older along the line, it will be like, is it really an old man again? I mean, like, I am an old man already. So at the very least, I kind of like was testing the system out and stuff, because the thing is, right, I think Pearson, you may not be aware, but I actually kind of like was rethinking of the multi-streaming again, especially more like right now I am streaming on YouTube Short as well as on YouTube Landscape, the actual one that I normally stream on. But at the same time, it's actually more towards like I was thinking, should I jump back to do multi-streaming including Twitch? And at the moment, I am unable to although the chat part, I have to see how I'm going about it, but as for right now, the system that I'm using seems to work great. I'm not saying the one on YouTube that you guys are seeing right now, in a way. It's actually more towards the system that I'm using allow me to do multiple checking, and it seems to work well. Although I can't be sure like to what extent yet, because it allowed me to read, like, normally you guys won't know is that I have to open up the both windows, the normal one as well as the short one at the same time, and then I have to look into like the chat both at the same time. But as for right now, I am using one system to allow me to read into it in one go. So if it works, it'll be great for me to, at the very least, like, understand how the system go about, how the thing go about, because I still kind of like trying to understand the logic of the system for now, it's still kind of like confusing in a sense though. But at the very least, if the system work well, I will be happy. I'll be kind of like be glad to do multiple streaming in different platform again at the same time. The only issue on hand is that as for right now, I'm still kind of like working on the in especially in real life stuff as well though. Considering like you guys might not be aware, is that every time when I open up my window, there is always a bug or cockroach or whatever thing flying into my house, to my room along the line, and it's irritating. So I just order up a Windows mesh, which I'll have to do a bit of DIY in real life along that line. But at the very least, once I done that, I'm able to like I can't show the window because it would be like doxing myself. But at the very least, if the system works, it would be considered a great addition in a sense for me to do a lot of things. Because the thing is, right, I've been planning this like I'm still using Streamlabs. I know a lot of people will be saying like, hey, shouldn't I be using other like Stream Elemental or OBS? I was actually testing on the OBS earlier, and I was actually also checking out on the Twitch as the Stream Elemental as well. So there was a lot of things that I have to consider to see if it workable or not. Although I can't be like 100% sure will it work for now, because I'm still kind of like testing the system out, but I hoping that I will be able to stream using that system again in near future, because I'm actually been planning the system for quite a while. And more so ever, right, the room will still stay the same, the classroom will stay the same. I would still consider still using Streamlabs to do the recording along the line. I mean, like, technically I can use OBS and what's not, but as for now, I'm still kind of like need to rework on a lot of stuff along the line to see how the system works. Because for the OBS for recording for the random chat, I have been planning as well though, but technically I won't change up the, like, I will still keep like Streamlabs for the random chat in a sense, but for the streaming wise, if you guys come across me having a bit of crash or a bit of lag when I change out to the new system, do let me know, because I'm still working on the system. And I was actually midway just now, I was actually like testing the OBS as well. The only issue I have will definitely have to highlight, it would be technically it's not easy to change the setting, because I'm still working on the OBS system myself. So I don't want to out of nowhere saying that you guys see me live streaming but I'm not streaming at all. So I was actually checking, I also testing a lot of things out though, because there's a lot of things I'm still not sure on how the system work or how the thing work along the line. It's still confusing, but at the very least I can definitely say for now would be the system that I'm using right now seems to work very good in terms of chatting. So at the very least, let me show you guys the system that I'm referring. It's actually called Runcom. It's kind of like very easy to use because they have the English translation for it. So if I actually open up this one and let you guys see, so that you guys can see it. So on short you guys won't be able to see it, but for but in a sense, right, you guys can technically see in a way, right, would be the at the very least you guys can see is that if you can't type anything else, right, you whatever you guys type, like you guys can test things out, like you go to the landscape, you type anything out, it will still show up in one go. Like normally in YouTube you guys can see like, oh, everything is on the chat in a sense, but for me I have to open out two windows because I cannot see, I don't see this on the Streamlabs. So I always have to open out one window to see the chat. But if the system work in a way right now, like example, like if you guys can see basically this, right, like if everything you guys type and I can see it in one window, it would be so much easier in a way that the only issue that I have to have with that would be that is the URL. I have to just copy paste every single time and then I have to connect it so that it will connect in one go. But other than that, I mean, when I kind of like showcase it easily, it would take some time. So the only thing I won't be able to is basically type on it because there is no way to link that out. So I still have to do the clicking and stuff along the line to indicate as such. And the one good thing about this one that you guys might not be aware of, right, it also kind of like showcasing the viewers count in one shot. So for example, if I actually show this one up, right, like it will show the number of viewers on the Twitch side, on the YouTube side, on the short side. So let me disappear for a short while so that you guys on short you guys can able to see it. So imagine like if you guys can see like there is the viewers count in a sense. So it helped for me to have a better understanding on the number of viewers I have in one go. So that's one good thing about the system that I'm consider using it for now. And if it helped, it will be so much better in a sense though, and it also indicating on like am I on air, all these things. So if it, let's say for example, like if I go to my lens scale, right, and let's say let's type like normally on YouTube when I type something like this one, right, so for example like if I say like konnichiwa, you guys can see it appeared. And you indicate, oh, this one is under a YouTube chat, but you guys can see it's YouTube chat. But if you guys go and type on YouTube short, it will indicate as such. But on YouTube, you guys will definitely see on the stream like you guys can see the chat appearing accordingly. Is indicating that in a sense that you guys can see the chat regardless of how you guys look up about it. So in a way you guys can see it's like technically that is the logo to indicate as such. But the only issue I have with Streamlight is that if you want to do multi-streaming, you have to pay money for it. But apparently that other systems such as Stream Elemental as well as OBS, you don't need to pay. So I am at the moment just considering of jumping back to, not saying like I don't trust, like I technically still don't trust Twitch in a sense, considering that the CEO and doing all those kind of things, and we all know about the Hassan Piper and as well as all those controversy people along the line, as well as that for some reason somehow someone like if you stream on Twitch and you do something along the line and it's like, oh, they will ban you for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. But if you are a real life person showing your real life face, they will say, oh, we're gonna ban you for half a day. It's like bad for VTubers somehow, but for them apparently it's considered a good thing, which I have no idea how they go about it. But I mean, like if it worked, it worked. So I'm considering of jumping to, not saying like jumping to Twitch in a sense, it's actually more like multi-streaming in a way, but I will still be the most boring, less than anyone would think of streamer along the line. But at the very least, right, I would still need to work on the system on my end to see whether is it the best one to go. And welcome back. So the thing is, right, as long as the system seems to work, like example, like if you guys can see, like it showcase the chat, and the latest one you always show at the top. So if it work, it would be great. But at the moment, I still kind of like considering the system, the OBS and the Streamlight in a sense, because I still kind of like working on it for now, and I still have no idea. Because OBS, I was actually opening up and checking on system along the line, and a lot of things I still a bit confused. especially more towards I think like I can open up the OBS studio to let you guys see it. I can't. Okay. In a way, in a way, I'm just showing this OBS for now because it's actually kind of like funny in a sense. The system actually kind of like make it very interestingly though. So, for the OBS, the OneCom OBS. Oh, okay, OBS. So if I open up the OBS, you guys can technically let me turn my avatar on for this bit. So the thing is, right, I'm still kind of like working on the system in a way to understand like the vertical scene and stuff. Like the thing is, I'm still kind of like working on the system in a way, so it's still kind of like confusing, as well as that. The chat, as you guys can see, right, like it is working. At least the chatbot. At least the chatbot is working, so like as you guys can see that the chat is working in a nice way, and it seems to be better than I initiate. So it is my favorite song. I'm not sure whether you are aware of it, but there is what was the song that I like the most? ちょっと待ってね. Now that you mention it, there will always be one song that I know. I can't. ちょっと待ってね. Suddenly I can't recall. Universal Bunny. So anyway, back to the topic, okay. At the very least, you guys can see that the chat is working in a very good way, and I'm still kind of like working on the system in a sense though. So, the OBS seems like the chatbot seems working. I still might have to work on like you guys can see that the chat is very long, so I still might have to work on the system in a sense to see. It's called Universal Bunny. Let me open up the chat. Let me open up the window so you guys can have a better understanding, because it is a very old song in a sense. It's actually belonged to the Macross Frontier song. So let me open up. Let me change up the system. Let me open up the Chrome. Let me close that, and then I need to jump over to the Windows. Right. So there is one song that I always check out would be Man Bunny, and I was wondering, like, I remember it was Bunny, but I can't remember what was the full name. So there is a song, just to showcase, okay, it's called Universal Bunny, and it is a very old song already. It was actually it was in 2009, and it was also the first time when I came to understand who she is. And the funny thing is, like, she is under the same age as me in a way. So the thing is, right, that it is actually belong to her for the Macross Frontier stuff, and it has been my favorite song ever since then though. I mean, like, sure, there may be like Digimon, the Butterfly, that is also have the second one was, there is a lot of songs that I like though, but definitely if anyone will ask me, is like, then definitely I will have to say that Universal Bunny is one of my favorite songs ever since then though. But it's also kind of like, interestingly, is that it was also the time when I came to understand the it was also around that timing, in the sense that I decided to say that, you know what, I really want to go to Japan to see whether I can work along the line, but unable to do so. So 残念ですよね. I mean, I did go to Japan to work part time and stuff along the line, but at the very least, I still kind of like working on the system along the line. I can limit the chat box size. Yeah, the thing is, right, the chat box wise, I still working on the system at the moment. It's still kind of like confusing in a sense, okay? Especially more towards like the system that I show you guys. It's like it does have a lot of good things, but I'm still working on it to see how I can go about it and see like is there any way to like customize it or work over it along the line, because it's still kind of like confusing in a sense though. But if it worked well, it would be great. But at the same time, it's because it's like in OBS, okay? So in a way, I would like, because in OBS, you guys may not be aware, is that in OBS you don't have a chat box, okay? Like in the OBS, you if you want to like have a chat bot, you have to think of it to add a chat bot, and OneCom has been the so-called the go-to in a sense to make it work in a way. So if it worked well, I would considering might like use it in a way though, but I'm still kind of like I'm trying to see how the system work and stuff, and it's still kind of like confusing. At least I like that. I still find it, the system a bit confusing in a sense, but yeah, the extension one I'm still not sure though, because it's still like I need to work on the system to understand the logic and stuff, and I don't really want to jump and say that it can be done. It could be done, but I could be wrong. So it's kind of like I have to set the limit in a sense to make sure that at the very least it is workable, but not saying like it's impossible. So like for example, like okay, this one seems to be working because I can adjust the height. So for example, like what you guys unable to see, but I will show it. So I just need to jump to this and then show it. So example, like earlier you guys won't be able to see it along the line, okay? Let me zoom out on short so you guys can see it. So in a way you guys can see it's like inner became shorter and smaller. So and the most important thing is that I have to go to the system to work over the height and as well along the line though. So I'm still thinking about the system, like the chatbot. I still need to think on how it workable along the line. I still not sure. There's quite a lot of like system to work about it. For example, like if I open up this template, and let's say for example, let's say if I drag this one in. As you guys can see, it became that way, and now I have to go to the system and type maybe for example like instead of width, let's say set it at 300, and then it became shorter, and then maybe I need to remove this one, remove that. And then this one, maybe the height is, let's set it maybe at 700. At the very least, it look like more pattern in a sense, right? But the issue on it is that, as you guys can see, it takes time for me to get used to it. like there's a lot of things in the system I have to test things out, and the thing is, right, I still have no idea on how to do the multi-streaming in a way, so there's a lot of things I have to work about it. This one is the full screen in a sense though. So for example, like let's say for example I'm putting gaming, right? So for example, if I put the gaming streaming, I have to add the let's say for example like let's add I have to open up a source. You guys can't conceal it, but let's say for example I have to add a game catcher. Let's put a game catcher and it will indicate as charge. Then it'll be one right now a big screen on a game catcher, and let's me pause the game in a way, pause the music in a way. So for example, let's open up Genshin for now. Or maybe like Xenozone Zero in a sense. Let's try Xenozone Zero. So for example, like if I open up Xenozone Zero, this is just to showcase it a little bit, okay? So for example, like if I open this out and I open up the Xenozone Zero, right? So I need to capture a specific window. I'm not sure how the system working or not, but it really does have to like get used to understanding how the system works though. So that's why it's like you guys have to understand one thing is that when I'm working on the system, I was like testing things out and what's not, and it really does take a lot of time for me to have a specific understanding along the line. Let's say for example like Windows Xenozone Zero. So let's see whether does that work or not. Nope, it's not working. And maybe if I retry window catcher, game catcher. I had this is one of the reasons why like sometimes when I'm checking things out, it's like if it work, it work. If it doesn't work, I have no idea. That's why it's like a lot of things that I was testing things out. Video capture system. That one is definitely not the one that I want to showcase. Maybe display catcher. Ah. Now it became this way. But at the very least, if I switch it up, at least if I switch it up, you guys can see it's working in a way though. So, so if I switch, let's say for example, if I switch it below, and now I turn it out, hola, working. It seems to be working. So it's still kind of like I'm still kind of like checking things out, whether is it too big or what's not. Like technically most people won't go with full screen or whatever. Like I'm still working on it. The system is still kind of like confusing in a sense, regardless on how you guys think about it. So there's a lot of stuff that I reconsider, a lot of things I have to read through and see through, because if it work, it work. But at the moment, it's kind of like hard to know whatsoever, especially more towards like kind of like check still testing things out along the line, and it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong, it's still technically frustrating. But at the very least, I still kind of like hoping that it will work well, it will go according to how I want along the line, and I might shrink it for now. I mean, like technically, it would be still same as the one that I use in Streamlab, Don't get me wrong, it will still technically be the same. But I'm still working on some of the stuff like the loading screen, the whatever along the line. Like I'm still testing things out though. I can't 100% say that I can go with the one I have on hand. Chris on holiday, how's the day? So at the moment, at the very least, the chatbot work is the most important thing for me. And the only issue on hand, right, is technically I still do not know. I'm still technically do not know on how the multi-streaming or the vehicle streaming, because in OBS it's still confusing. I'm also looking into stream elemental in a way, because apparently like a lot of people recommending stream elemental as well. So considering that you guys have to understand that I've been using Streamlab technically for 7 years, I have not jumped out of it yet. But considering like if I want to like if you guys want me to do like streaming on Twitch or maybe on ads at the same time along that line, it would be much easier for me to do that kind of like system check and stuff along the line to see whether is it workable. Although I can't be like 100% sure, and thank you, I am not a furry, I'm just technically a male VTuber that turned into a cat and now became the observer of this damn world. But other than that, can definitely say that a lot of things I'm still waiting to check things out and see how it goes. And so then Nia-san, hello there, how's the day? A lot of system is still kind of like checking things out, and at the moment I'm kind of like want to switch things out and see if it workable for me in future. But like you guys understand, one thing is that I've been using Streamlab for 7 years. Technically, I can say it's like 7 years already. Almost 7 years. Actually, more like 5 plus 7, 6 plus years though. Like you guys may not be aware. Like I really kind of like just only recently passed through the I only just kind of like been passed through the 5 year anniversary as a VTuber. But the issue on hand is that I did faceless streaming before I became a VTuber. So it was kind of like a funny thing is that back then when I was a faceless streamer, I wasn't thinking of like avatar, I wasn't thinking of all these things, because it's the thing is right, back then when I was living in Japan, I was told to do live streaming in a way to start out every single thing along that line, and it became a moment of like me deciding to hello there, I don't read that language, but I will just say konnichiwa. So the thing is, I never really been doing multi-streaming, all these things. It's more towards like I'm being used to what I can do in a way, and kind of like just just stick with it along the line. Like I seriously had no idea on a lot of stuff, but other than that, I kind of like just deciding to like I was actually checking with my another friends on Streamnet and stuff, and my friend was like, "Wow, damn! People he really switched to Stream Elemental," and I was like, "What? Nani soria?" And I wasn't aware of it until like okay, and I was like, okay, let's decided to like okay, since stuff is not that easy in a sense, I was like okay, wakata, then I would I think it would be much better if I kind of like change things out and see whether is the system workable or not. But so far the OBS is still working. I'm still might have to really look into the system wise and stuff along the line, because it's still kind of like confusing. Regardless of how you guys think, it's still kind of like confusing in a sense, because I have no idea on how some of the stuff work along the line, because it's like the issue on hand, right, is that on the OBS, the vertical one, I apparently, like, if I have to multi-stream, I have to like stream differently, in the sense that it doesn't do auto. So, or it might have auto, but I have no idea on how the system work along the line. So I'm still testing things out, and it's still kind of like confusing at time. Like this whole system is still kind of like uh confused. Like, regardless of how you guys think about it, it's still confusing for me though. So I still need to work on it and see how it go, and the wheel figure. How you became a wheel and a figure at the same time? But okay, hello there. How's your day? So regardless, it's kind of like the system. I still need to check things out and see. Like, I still have to like consider a lot of things on how they go about, and so far at least I can definitely say the chatbot is working for me. I still need to look into some part along the line and see how some of the things work, because it's still kind of like confusing on some part though. So if it work, it work, but at the same time I can definitely say that one good thing for now, let me close this one up first, or maybe I can do this. Okay, so I was actually kind of like, I really planned the Japanese lesson. I believe it's on this coming Friday. Let me do a check first. Yeah, tomorrow is definitely Xena Zone Zero update, so I'm playing Xena Zone Zero. On Thursday I'm resting, but I can definitely tell you guys one thing is that on Friday, I would definitely be doing the Japanese lesson course along the line. I will still be streaming on YouTube only, and until I kind of like understand how I can transmit to other system along the line. If not, I have to see how, because the Thursday, right, although I put as resting, okay, and Kurosami-san, hi, hello there, how's your day? So the thing is, right, I'm still kind of like testing things out on my end, checking things out, and hoping that it will work well. I'm still not sure on how the system working or not, because it's still confusing regardless of how we think about it, and I'm seriously have no idea on how the system works. But if it work, it work. If it doesn't work, I got no idea, because it's still confusing regardless of how I think about it though. So わかんないんだけど、でも大体そんな感じかな。たくさんのわかんないのことはあるけど、like there's still a lot of confusing things. I have no idea on how the system on the OBS work or something along the line. It's still confusing regardless of how I think about it. But if it work, it work. But if it doesn't work, it's confusing, right? I seriously have no idea, because if it's kind of like I seriously have no idea on how is the system gonna work or not, because there is like a lot of issue on the OBS just now that I was like not sure, because the thing is, right, you guys on right now is you guys may not be aware is that I'm actually using Streamlab, and it's also have the vertical one, so you guys can see that I'm streaming on short. But on OBS, I'm still working on the system to see whether if it works, so I'm still got a lot of things I'm still not sure though. Thank you. Hey, at least someone said birthday to me. Although there was quite a few people wanting me to just say the hi for some way, somewhat reason. I'm still kind of like working on some system along the line though. There's a lot of things I'm still not sure on stuff to use or things to use along the line. It's still kind of like confusing regardless though. So oh yeah, actually if you guys actually saw on Discord, right, for those on YouTube, let me open up the Discord so that you guys can see. I have my birthday cake. And I think it's actually fair for me to at least also highlight that I always do like Paris baguette. Not the baguette itself, technically. I do eat baguette, don't get me wrong. But the main issue on hand is that if I open up this one, Discord. So if I open up the Discord, so in a sense, you guys can see that I have to move a little bit. You guys can see is that I have a birthday cake. On short it will be here, and then for YouTube landscape is over here. So I have my cake. My mom bought it for me though, in case anyone wondering. So I actually was enjoying the cake. It was actually, the funny thing is that it is a dark chocolate cake, with the Pachico inside as the base cream along the line. So it was actually kind of like a very good birthday cake for me though. But the only issue on it, if you guys want to know, is like it's a very freaking expensive cake, you know, like $60. It's like it tastes so good. Yeah, because you guys can see the word packet. Paris packet. So if you guys are always wondering, like the main reason why it's not that I like to use a 3-meter packet along the line. It was actually more towards like at that time I was thinking of the packet, but I was also thinking of this brand of because they really call Paris baguette. Okay, so it has always been my favorite place to go to buy cake. This one is actually very good. I have to at least highlight. Like if I can share with you guys, I would definitely share with you guys. But I will have to say that it is a very expensive cake though. Like this cake, right? As you guys can see, right? It's very expensive. It's like freaking $60 in Singapore dollar, and I mean like technically in US will be 50, and then I think for Venice you might want to go and do your conversion along the line. It's not a very cheap cake though. So regardless, it's a very expensive cake that I ate for my dinner for my birthday, but I have to at least highlight that it was actually a good one that I can get to enjoy, and I don't need to think too much along the line though. But at the very least, it was a good one though. I have to at least highlight that. 美味しかっただよ。うまいんだよ。As long as the cake is delicious, I think that's the best part so far. At the very least, I can definitely say that's one good thing for at least from how I look at it. But in a sense, I still need to work on my OBS system and stuff. But your cake got eaten by your cat. Hey, eat your... Dude, I can't even let my cat eat the cake though, because the thing is, right, if got chocolate, yeah, it's 100% poison for them. Or I don't know. I mean, like technically, if it's a cream, it'll be fine. But if it got chocolate, that's a huge no. Okay, so be careful, okay, Venice-san. But the thing is, right, at the very least, just now you guys saw that I was actually checking on the system and stuff, and the OBS is still kind of like, it's gonna take me time for me to set things up, because I still have no idea on how's the system work or whatsoever. It's still kind of like confusing, okay, because I seriously, like, I have to at least highlight that I seriously have no idea on the system and what's not though, so it's gonna take quite a while for me to get used to it. And thank you. As long as my cat don't... Oh, never jump into my room cat already. But other than that, I actually did enjoy my dinner, as well as my cake. So, hey, you guys understand one thing is that I prefer chocolate a lot more than you guys think though. Like the funny thing is, right, I think I said this before, but I will just say it again. Is that the funny thing is, right, my sister like candies and sweet. I don't. I do eat candies, don't get me wrong. There are times when I do eat candies. But the issue on hand, right, is that if you guys aren't aware, I normally don't go and purposely buy candies just to eat though. The thing is, right, I normally buy chocolate to eat. The thing is, for my sister, she can't buy chocolate. Because you guys might not be aware, right? My sister, it has kind of been confirmed that she is allergic to chocolate seed. But in the sense is that if she eat chocolate, she technically in the most simple way is that she is allergic to chocolate. White chocolate, not really chocolate, she is fine with that. But if it's actual chocolate, regardless of how many percentage, she is 100% allergic to it. Because one thing is, right, she can eat a little bit, don't get me wrong, but the only issue on hand is that once she starts eating chocolate, she will start scratching a lot, like a freaking monkey. So, the issue on hand is that, well, my sister, like in the past, from till now, when like the count like not really till now, like 2 years old back, when my sister receives chocolate, she always pass it to me, and if I receive candies, I'll give it to her. It's kind of like a change in a sense because I don't really eat candy because I always give it to my sister. But my sister, when she can't eat chocolate, she'll give the chocolate to me in a way. So we kind of eat it that way. But once my sister get married, and then basically it's like her husband stopping her from eating chocolate in a way. So it became a moment of like, can't say too much on that, and it became a moment of like we used to it in a way though. Well, there's one scary skeleton, Vanessa. I can only say that though. And if your dad eat a toddler, I think we might want to call we might have to call the police on you. Draw me a maid outfit again or an idol dress. Dude, how about we set a rule where I have to do something where I have to change my uniform to either a maid or idol one day. How about this flavor, son? Let's see. That do I have to like cross-dress something along the line? Like, but why do you want me to dress up as an idol or whatsoever? Just checking the.
Curiosity killed the cat, but I'm just kind of curious in a sense. Hi, and thank you. In case anyone want to know, I am actually more into Buddhism, but I do read out on the freaking Holy Bible myself, so I can't really say too much on that end. I have read out on even a lot of like religions I have read out myself, in case anyone is wondering. Like if I even go as far as reading out a freaking Bible itself, the freaking whole damn book, to the point that it's a lot of things that made me really curious, like what the heck am I have to take my time to read on that. The issue on hand, right, in case you guys are wondering, because the thing is about then before I'm still technically Buddhism, but I'm actually more of a free thinker in a sense because I'm actually also a Taoism in a way. You guys might not be aware is that I technically do in Singapore. Okay, this I highlight. In Singapore, if you go to any mostly the Chinese people, right, there is people who do Buddhism as well as Taoism at the same time, but it's actually more on a mix. We call it a mix. In Singapore, you definitely hear the word rojak, but it's actually we call it a mix. style is kind of like a combination of Buddhism and Taoism, because it's still technically the same thing. I still eat meat, I still do whatever, but the thing is my dad is a full Buddhism, so my dad actually do not eat meat at all. He's a full vegetarian. The only issue is that he can't eat onion, can't eat garlic. These two and a few more stuff that he can't eat. But the thing is, right, my dad is a full Buddhism, so he do not eat meat. So if you guys wondering, like, he had not been eating meat for like who know how many years already though. So there is issue that is kind of like, you guys may not be aware, is that he got a lot of issue on his body now as an old man, that he had on due to like malfunction from the meat lacking along the line. But as for right now, he's still healthy. That's the most important part. Now the second thing, right, is that for the stuff, he like, I know there is some vegetarian, you guys may not be aware, right, is that my dad cannot eat egg, he cannot eat fish, cannot eat whatsoever. But in Japan, when I actually moved there for 6 years, I learned that they actually do somehow, some way, somewhat able to eat meat or able to eat stuff that are actually technically banned along the line, even though they are Buddhism. Okay, I actually lived in Japan for 6 years, and I actually went to the Buddhism temple myself, and I actually asked them myself, and they say that yeah, they still eating normally accordingly, because they say that like apparently like fish, because they say, oh, you can't eat the meat on land, but you can eat the meat on sea. So somehow they say that, hey, you can eat meat, even like they can eat fish, even though it's technically in Buddhism they say that they can't supposed to, or whatever along the line. So it's confusing in a way, but I mean, like, if they say it that way, what can I say, right? So there's a lot of things I'm still kind of like, I still thinking about, like, a lot of the things that I live back in Japan. Like, there's a lot of things I'm still not used to it, but if they kind of like used to it in that way, can't really say is it a good thing or is it a bad thing, right? It's still kind of like confusing on how they make like the system working, all these things. I mean, like, if you guys are thinking about it, like, I started out as a VTuber back in Japan, not in Singapore, okay? So if anyone in Singapore say that they are a long VTuber along the line, yeah, I mean, like, technically I'm a 7-year VTuber. I'm a 5-year VTuber, but I'm technically a 7-year streamer. But regardless, right, it's still kind of like considered a year that I live in. Yeah, if you guys think about it, right, like 7 years as a streamer, okay, it's like, you guys have to understand is that today is 37, it's my 37th birthday, so in a way it's like 7 years as a streamer. In a way, you guys have to understand that I started out as a streamer, a faceless streamer, 2 years, which is basically when I was like 29, 30 years old at the time. So it was kind of like a funny thing is that it was really a time of like me getting to the system as a streamer, because when I learning anime and manga back in Japan, right, my friend asked me to try streaming as a streamer, because it was also the time when I streaming as Monster Hunter World at the time. So I was like, okay, wakata, yate miyoka. And it became a moment of like, okay, testing things out. I still not sure on how the thing work along the line, and it became a moment of like, later on I changed to become a VTuber, because it was like, you guys might not be aware, is that when I moved to Japan in 2017, it was also the Pacific timeline when VTuber was starting out as well though. Thank you. At the Hello Kitty-san, as well as the Andy-san, thank you very much. So the thing is, right, there's a lot of things that back then, like VTuber growing, like even like the Niji-sanji grow, the way Niji-sanji grow as well as Hololive grow at the time, right, I witnessed it up close. And especially most of us, you guys have to understand what I'm saying is that when I was classmate with people like 7-8 years younger than me, right, even there was even one 10 years younger than me back then. So when I started, when I was like 27 years old, there was a when I was like 27 years old, when I started out when I was living in Japan, there was one 18 years old girl that I was like learning manga and anime with her as well. So I was like, well then, what kind is, you know? But yeah, other than that, I was like a lot of people like you gotta understand one thing is that wow that but then is I still talk with them about manga anime back then because it's like that was the only thing that made us talk a lot. But the one thing is right, back then the one thing that we don't really talk much was not VTuber though. It was kind of like 2-3 years when I was graduating from anime manga, it was actually the same period as like when VTuber became not saying like an entire hit, but it was starting to hit into the audience. Especially I have to at least highlight that this one is really not what I like, but Niji Sanji and Hololive was these two, although technically there is a Holostar, don't get me wrong, but it was Hololive as well as Niji Sanji both growing at the same time to gain the audience in Japan. It wasn't overseas. I have to at least highlight that. Even so, like if you guys want to check out on some of the older stream on Hololive or this thing, they didn't have a lot of viewers, but it was growing. It was definitely growing in the sense that TV was slowly highlighting that it seems to be a VTuber moment, because especially it was actually more towards on the one that actually grew the most was actually Kitsuna Ai. So Kitsuna Ai was actually Kitsune Ai or Kitsune normally I call it Kitsune Ai. So Ai-san was actually the one that actually grew the VTuber scene, and the only issue on hand is that Niji Sanji and Hololive wasn't growing that as what you guys might think. The one thing that actually made Hololive grow was technically the EN when the Holomin released, with basically Mori, Ina, Gura, they all. Gura was the one that broke everything up, okay? And for Niji Sanji, regardless of how we think about it, that is, even though their Niji Sanji JP side did grow, it wasn't what put Niji Sanji on the map in a sense. It was actually again the EN side. And which EN side again? Akuma, Vote, and the others. So in a way, right, it was really kind of like that's how the VTuber grew at the time, and it was also the time of like when COVID hit at the same time. So when I actually was working part-time, especially when I was finding it hard to leave Japan and stuff and what's not along the line, right? It was really kind of like making me getting used to the life in Japan and stuff, but it was also a time of like me getting understanding on how the Japan VTuber grow and the company growing all these things. So it really does take a lot of time and effort and opportunity. And the one thing is, right, the COVID did hit them in a good opportunity, okay? So for example, like lately I've seen a lot of people saying like, hey, if you get the attention, is that a good thing or whatever? The funny thing is, right, I'm sure there will be some people hating on it. The thing is, right, Niji Sanji as well as Hololive, they have a lot of haters back then. Nowadays, if you are being a hater, they will just say you are anti or you're just unable to move on along the line. And even for me, I didn't like Niji Sanji in some sense, but for me, I just move on. But the issue on hand is that back then, the haters are so crazy to the point that there is actually not just a group for it, okay? It's actually more on an organization for the antis, okay? So if you guys actually sometimes see like Hololive having some sort of haters or anti attacking them, and it's not like 1 or 2 person, it was actually more on like a whole group of them attacking at the same time. Yeah, it's actually more on that kind of group causing that issue along the line. So it's actually more on like those kind of people is always there, and you guys need to be very, very cautious of them. In a sense, because the thing is, right, the way they start attacking is really not like 1 or 2 people though. It's actually one whole group of them though. So you gotta have to be very, very careful of those kind of people. In a way though, the organization is actually not from overseas. It's actually in Japan. You guys may find it very amazing, but the thing is, it really is in Japan. Regardless of how you guys think about it though. So a lot of information spread, misinformation, all these things, right? The reason why Japan like the thing is, right, when you have a whole group of supporter, you got one whole group of haters or antis.
and it's always there, whether we all like it or not. So a lot of things I'm still kind of like. I mean, like, even when I back then, if you guys aren't aware, right, when I first started out as a Japan streamer, I still speak Japan, especially because I was, when I started out as a VTuber, as a phaser streamer before became a VTuber, I was in Japan, so I was speaking in Japanese a lot more, and back then I was actually kind of like streaming, just speaking in Japanese a lot more. Even if you ask like Venice-san here, or Neji-san and Kira-chan in the past, right, I was actually streaming in Japanese a lot more, but after that, like when Vanessa and the others wanted to learn some Japanese, I decided to just say that, you know what, I decided to teach them Japanese. So you guys may not be aware is that okay, I know I can call her Lisa, don't get me wrong, but you gotta understand one thing. When she entered my stream for the first time at the time, her name was called Benny. So I kind of like find it hard for me to change, regardless of how you guys think about it though. I kind of like used to Benny's son in a sense. Like used to it, you know, regardless though. Yeah, I mean, like, even Neji's son, like, technically she is called Nugget. Okay. Maid or idol? So we put a proy now, just to test things out. Idol or maid car? Idol or maker? Do I have to say that? Yamete. Yamete. Don't. How about do I have to? わかんないんだけど。Because, okay, how about this way, Melissa? You draw as the maid. I mean, like, technically, I will still have to do the dance. Like you okay, this one I'm not sure you are aware or not though. I think you might be might seems to know, but I'm not sure whether you know or not. Do you know of the idol maid? Like, in a way, you know, like when maid have that their costume look like idol in a sense. Wakanai ka? Last year. I mean, technically, you guys may not be aware, right? Venice-san did draw me as a maid once. But why idol? Okay, since you want to draw me as an idol, then by all means go ahead, I'm not stopping you. I mean, like that, you did draw me once as a maid, then I guess I guess we will stick with for just for now once, okay. Although don't you dare draw me like what you did draw for Wealth Young and Paimon and Mindy in back then, okay? Don't you dare draw that, okay? It's gonna make me look very stupid regardless. We could be good or we be bad. I do not know. But we'll have to see how though. Is that a good answer for you, Vanessa? いいでしょ? Dude, don't draw.
Don't you think about fanboy for me, okay? I mean, like, how can people all around the world be looking at me like as if I'm an old man who is who is a fanboy at the same time? That would be so wrong on so many levels, though. Shut up. So what am I supposed to do? Start changing my new costume to be look like myself, like I do along the line. It's a good thing that I did. I'm a VTuber in a way. Don't even think about it. Okay, it is one of the time when I have to be very questioning a lot of stuff on things that is all about it. But if you're wondering like what is even this, I'm just a VTuber, just celebrating my birthday by chatting. But in regards, right, I'm still kind of like checking on the system on my end to see whether am I able to do and stuff along the line too. I don't activate my father mode that easily, okay? you gotta understand that even Benny-san here was once scolded by me, not really like scolded, it's actually more like a lecture by me. But yeah, oh yeah, I almost forgot about it. So earlier I was actually mentioned that I did stream in but then teaching Japanese, okay. So Friday I am gonna do that. But the issue on hand is that I know that many of you might know some Japanese already, or maybe the hiragana, katakana, but I still gonna start off from hiragana, katakana. Okay? So at the very least Friday, once I'm able to make sure that whether I can either use Stream Elemental or Stream the OBS Studio, whichever work for me, I would check things out. I'm still not sure on how the system works yet because it's still kind of like confusing in a way. But if it were, it would be great. But I'm still checking things out because there's a lot of things I'm still confused on the stuff along that line too. But at the very least, the system, if it look good, it will be great. Just because I'm a single old man doesn't mean anything, okay? Even case, okay, even Benny-san here is basically into this kind of thing. It's just basically, I know like Benny-san still asking me to find an Ame Mama along the line. I'm still thinking on how I'm gonna go that. True. I mean, like, you can go with right blue. Green-san, you may not be aware, but Benny-san already have a boyfriend. Benny-san here already have a boyfriend. It's Blade-san. Denji-san at the moment still need a little bit of hardworking in that sense. That one I can't say too much on that end. But a lot of things still kind of like need a lot of working in a way. Amada-san, thank you. Oh yeah, because you guys may not be aware, is that Benny-san was technically into girls. Okay, she was into girls, but she got a boyfriend, so at the very least she is still living a good life in a way, okay. I did have my I did eat my birthday cake just now, so let me show that. At the very least, my mom, my real life mom, did buy this cake for me to eat. So at the very least, let me open up the window so you guys can check. So basically on let me off the Twitter. So at the very least, right? You guys can see is that technically this was my birthday cake. So I was actually a dark chocolate cake with particle inside. So it was actually a very very delicious cake that I ate just now. And the only issue on hand you guys understand is like cost $62 Singapore dollars. Not a very cheap cake though. But yeah, my avatar can move though. Yeah, you have to understand one thing is that I have been working on a lot of system and stuff. Like OBS system, I'm still kind of like working on it in a sense though. So at the very least, my avatar has been able to move all these things, and I'm still working on stuff along the line though. But so far the system working in a way, but I'm still kind of like working on the OBS system or the stream element system along the line. It's still confusing, but at the very least, if it will, it will okay. So I'm still not sure though. But yeah, but at the very least, like, at least you guys can see is that the avatar might move, my hand can move, so you guys can see like ooh la 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 la. Oh, yeah, play this, you know. like I can move my hand forward, up, down, left, right, or even like this. So at the very least, I'm still kind of like working on the system in a way though, because I am considering to do multi-streaming back again, but I still kind of like working on the system itself because I'm still not sure on how the system work, all these things. So at the very least, if it work, it work. But if it doesn't work, I still need to see how it go about though, because it's still confusing at times though. But at the very least, I can definitely say that if I still need to check on how the things work. It's because it's like a lot of systems I'm still not sure. You will see you bankrupt yourself buying Dojin. I mean, like, technically, if you go to, like, okay, if I have to say this one thing, okay, like, a lot of people going to Japan, okay, I have to tell you guys one thing. If you go to Japan, you guys have to be very, very cautious on one thing, is if you guys want to buy cheap stuff, go to second-hand shop. There is a lot of second-hand shop in Japan. There is the and you guys don't need to worry about the price because they sell. There is also the second-hand don't sell cheap at all at times. Okay, but in a way, it's definitely cheaper than the main store. Because of how you guys think about it. Because I had lived in Japan for 6 years and I always go to second-hand shop. Okay, I wouldn't admit do I buy anything. I do have one or two that I did buy, but I won't say. But the thing is, right, I have actually can definitely say is that if you guys want to like go to second-hand shop, you guys have to be very cautious, okay? So if you guys go to the Dojin department, right, you guys have to be very very cautious in a way, because for the Dojin one, right, normally you guys have to look into the hiragana letter or the first letter in a sense, because in Japan, the Dojin don't have a site indicating on like what is the book about, because it's a very very thin book. Dojin is always tend to be very very thin. You don't see the site in a way. Most like 70 to 80% of the Dojin never have a site. So it's very very hard to find them, and normally you have to understand the Japanese title. Because the thing is, you have to look into the title to understand. So for example, like if you go to one title and you say that, oh, I need to look for Anohito. So for example, like if I want to find like you have to go to the and then you have to not just look at you have to look at and there is like many of them. Not one or two, there is a lot of them. And you have to look slowly one by one to find whether they have your book or not though. And it's ridiculous. in a way. So if I actually let me see whether I can search it out easier for you guys. So let me see whether I can open up bookstore. Let me see. Dojin. Okay, I will just showcase this first so that it will be much easier to so let me remove my avatar first, and then I jump this one to open it up. Okay, so basically, if you guys go to Japan, the one thing you guys have to be very, very cautious of, right, is you can only see in the bookshelf something like this. Like, it's very, very, very hard to find a book. Like, sure, some of them you can, like, maybe if you find one by one, but the issue on hand is that you guys have to understand, if you have to go through one damn thing to find one book, and if you can't see the site, it's very, very hard. And hello there, how's today? So the thing is, right, it's very, very hard to find the doujin that you might want. And you go to any bookstore, you go to any secondhand shop, it's always technically look like normally if you go to manga shop or whatever, you can think like, oh, you look something like this, okay, like you guys, your mindset will be thinking like, hey, it might be look something like that. But when you go to actual store to buy, it's not. Like, sure, they may be showing something like this at times, but the issue on hand is you have to look through this much just to find the whole damn lot. And normally you don't see like, oh, all these things though. Like doujin, they only say a, o, i, ka, ko. Like, they just only find the hiragana form, and it's very, very hard to find them. It's legit very, very hard. So regardless of regardless of how you guys think about it, right, you guys have to be very, very cautious on how the system works, because I know some of you guys might be saying like it's not easy, but it's not easy to find the book in a sense though. I quite a few people ask me about how to easily find all these things. I even have a time when I was working as a freelance tour guide back in Kyoto, I got quite a few people asking me to help them find the doujin in a way that it actually can. There was even one time I have to spend 1 freaking hour at the bookstore just to find that freaking book, and it was really, really ridiculous. But it really does take up a lot of my time to understand how to find the things and stuff. And I mean, like off stream wise, I did take my time to look it up to understand how the thing work or how to find all these things. But it was definitely, I have to say, it's not easy. And congratulations! Kirikirita. Ako, otsukareta. At least you pass. That's the most important part. But at the very least, right, the Japanese lesson that I'm starting on this Friday, I would be teaching. I know it will be kind of like not everything in one go, but I will still be teaching the Japanese hiragana, katakana as the baseline though, because it will be kind of like teaching you guys A B C D. Is like the hiragana and katakana is technically the A B C D of Japanese lesson, but it's still technically the first baseline. Although I can't be sure whether I be able to teach you guys everything in one go, but option wise, you guys might have to learn a little bit on the day. I will still at least make sure that you guys will be able to kind of like understand the though, how the system along the line. Very soon is Friday. Although I'm not sure whether you'll be able to attend or not though. Or anyone will be able to attend. But at the very least, I will still technically be teaching on the hiragana katakana first. I would need to work on creating the chat. No, kind of like a picture for you guys to use as a preference. I still thinking about it, but I mean technically, I wish you can watch it off. You can watch it off stream, okay, Venisan. Don't need to worry. It's still technically off stream that you can watch the video archive. But at the very least, I will still at least put up the lesson first so that you guys can understand, because I'm still like Saturday I still need to work on the OBS, but I also kind of like want to create a picture, kind of like a PNG or JPEG, whatever work, to at least let you guys have a moment to teach on the 26th letter. But I will kind of like add in the base important stuff along the line so that you guys have a better understanding. So I've still kind of like working on the system, the diagram. I'm still working on it because I want to make it a one-page image so that you guys can use it, or maybe you guys want to print it out along the line. It will be much easier as well. But I'm still kind of like understanding on how to create easier so you guys can actually use it as a reference and understand it, because I'm kind of like working on it though. But as for right now, there is still kind of like a lot of stuff I kind of like been working on though, especially more towards that. I think it's actually more towards that. Thanks to the point that I no longer have to go for physical therapy. It's kind of like funny in a way though. Like I no longer need to go to physical therapy, and I have not been exercising lately because it's kind of like the weather has not been very, very kind. Especially more like, I in real life I have one of my friend admitted to hospital for his stroke. And like the weather in Singapore has been not very, very kind though. Like earlier it was raining, so it was actually more cooling now. But it was actually very, very hot this whole morning, and I need to I can only exercise at home a little bit, or like doing squat, all these things. So I need to check on things, how whether it work or not though. But other than that, Venice, go and work out on your assignment as far as possible, as much as you can along the line. But the one thing is, right, at the very least, I still kind of like work. At least I don't need to go for physical therapy, which is the reason why I was able to free out myself to do a lot of stuff along the line, working on the OBS, working on the system and what's not. And like Amada-san just now wasn't aware, like at least my avatar can move in a way. It was actually taking a lot of moment for me to test out, and at the very least, it worked out nicely, which is a good thing. But it still need a little bit of working in a sense though, because it's technically I can move my avatar, like I'm using the system is like I can move my face forward like this, but it will look very weird because on the main face you guys will definitely see that my hand is moving instead. So at the very least, I like if I move my hand, like, or you guys won't see my face moving, but in the system I'm using is also moving, so it's very, very hard for me to understand the system well at the moment though. But there's a lot of things for me to consider first before it works. And hi, hello there, how's your day? So there's quite a lot of things I have to look into and stuff and what's not, because it's kind of like, if the system works good, if the system doesn't work, that will be when the headaches start appearing along the line. But at the very least, I kind of like still need to make sure that the system works accordingly though, because it's kind of like even the webcam, I still need to make sure to be very, very cautious of it as well though. So at the very least, my hand can move. That's the most important part. Technically, I can move my leg out as well. Thank you. I mean, like technically, if I actually move backward a bit and showcase like my leg up like that, you guys can see that my leg Okay, on YouTube short, you guys can't see it. Let me. Ah, やだ。やっべ。あ、絶対やばい。あ、変わらずちゃった。やばい。Okay, let me go to YouTube short so that you guys can see the full one. It'll be much easier for you guys to see the full one because it's actually I kind of like move it that you guys can see it away. So if I actually move this one, because I did kind of like remove it, so if I actually move this way, so I need to move my camera to move the mic away, and then if I actually do something like this, okay, I can actually move. As you guys can see, I can actually move. The only issue on hand, right, is that if I want to move my leg, you guys can't see the leg, but you guys can see it's right here. So if I actually move my avatar a little bit, so if I actually move my avatar a bit so that you guys can see, I need to adjust my avatar. So if I move like this, right? Okay, just to show the leg only. Okay. So if I actually move like this, and then I move my leg out, you guys can see it's like it doesn't like only moving one leg out. It's already for some reason you actually catch it as two legs. I mean, it's kind of like ridiculous in a sense, but it's kind of like how funny how the system works. It's like, oh my, I can just sit like that. But my hand will look weird though. Okay, at least let me move my avatar back. If not, it will look very funny. At the very least, at the very least, the system is working accordingly, and only on shot you guys don't get to see that easily. But at the very least, it's kind of like funny in a sense though. If it will, it will, I guess. Ah, konnichiwa. You got Klaus and Joe-san. Hi, hello there, how's the day? So, dude, at the very least, at least the system that I'm using seems to be working accordingly. I think that's a good thing in a way. I still need to check out on how am I going to go about the system that I'm using in a way for now, but at the very least, if it's working, I think that's a good thing. Although I kind of like still need to check things out though, because there's a lot of system I still kind of like need to understand on how the system work on and what's not along the line. But at the very least, if it work, it will be fine. Expect you to survive $6 for 5 days. That's not a lot of money though. Is it your parents want you to just go and buy $6 vegetable and then if it was 5 days along the line? It's more like, do your parents even know that can you even survive on that amount though? That is a very, very huge concern, you know. Regardless how we think about it, it's like that is not a lot though. In fact, I would have to say that's a huge problem. You're hungry. Well, I mean, technically, if you eat rice and only rice, I will be concerning whether are you even able to eat anything else though. It's like 足りないな. You're definitely not having enough though. That is one thing that I'm concerned for you. The only thing I can provide is only like Friday teaching you guys Japanese lesson in a sense. But other than that, I can't really do too much on that end though. Morning, rice, milk, lunch. Wait. Morning, rice, milk, lunch, rice, dinner, rice? Or is it milk, lunch? Okay, Green Sun, go have a nice night. I mean, technically, based on my timing, I will be having to go to sleep in a few more minutes though. But at the very least, I can definitely be happily at least thinking about changing out my system from Stream Elemental to Stream... not Stream Elemental, I'm changing Streamlab for almost 7 years already. So, hello there, how's your day? So, at the very least, I would try... That's why I'm trying to see whether I can stay a bit longer, because I'm just hoping that you can finish on your essay as soon as possible. Because kindly please focus on your story. Your assignment is the most important thing, young lady. Because it will be a problem if you don't... Even I myself kind of like most people that I know is already sleeping right now, but I'm not even playing games right now. I'm just kind of like just sitting down, just chilling and stuff. Oh yeah, in regards is that random chat, because I was actually working on the OBS and stuff, so I haven't been doing random chat. But I can definitely tell you guys one thing for sure. I don't understand how the hell today. So the one thing is that definitely like for the random chat that I have not been doing for quite a while is I just realized I've been uploading just 1 or 2 random chat per month. So I hoping to really jump back to do all my random chat, because it's really been very long since the last random chats. Kind of like normally you guys know that I do random chat like once per day along the line, maybe like 2-3 per day, 1 video per day. So I'm legendary san, hello there, how's today? So the one thing is, right, I'm still been working like the physical therapy no more in a way. I don't need to go for physical therapy, but the one thing is that I still doing exercise at home to work out on my leg strength, all these things. So at the very least I able to do that. I don't play Roblox. Asahi-san, hi, hello there, also there. So the one thing is, right, I can definitely say for me right now, once I able to understand the system that I'm able to do multi-streaming at the same time, while at the same time understanding on how the chatbot work for me, I will be able to understand on how the system go about. I'm still kind of like wanting to do... I won't do a face review. I'm a VTuber. You can never get a VTuber to do a face review. I'm not K-Song, okay? If you are... K-Song technically kind of like did her face review in a way, but I mean, like, you guys don't want to see an old man like me to play, to do so, okay? Yes, I do play game. Genshin Impact, Zelda Zone Zero, Okai Star Rail, and I do stream Nikkei as well as recently I've been playing Nevertheless to Nevertheless, but I'm still need to work hard on that because I still don't know how the game works. How much money do I need? Good. Regardless of how much money people giving me, I still the only thing that I have to pay is my freaking hospital bill. Okay. You guys are not aware is that even now I haven't even paid my hospital bill yet. Okay. Like the one thing is right. I think was it last week that I went to hospital. I was sent into the emergency one for once because it's like you gotta understand one thing is that that then I mean last year I did suffer from a stroke. So the thing is right, you have to understand that if I suffer from a deadly stroke, the full name is actually SAH. But the thing is right, if you guys understand one thing is that if I have to like like if I have a headache, like even just now like coughing or throwing off from coughing off the phone, right, I having a like head pain in a sense. Okay, so the issue on hand right is that last week the weather in Singapore was so damn bad that I was actually having a headache to the point that I have to I actually was suffering not just my headache but my organs, internal organ was as well having an issue in a way that I have to say that hey, I have to go to hospital. And when I go to the hospital, it was not like normal emergency where they put you outside and say that okay, take your time, we'll see whatsoever. I was immediately sent inside the emergency. There was a long queue, but they just let me cut queue because mine was emergency, and they just sent me immediately to inside the A&E, and they did give me some medicine on the spot to ease the pain whatsoever along the line, but it was so damn bad that they even got the stroke sensei to come to me to ask about my health, to check like was I suffering from a normal just a headache along the line or whatsoever, because it was really similar to last year when I suffered from the stroke in a sense. Because last year when I got the stroke, right, I was suffering a headache, a very strong headache, and it was during May. Okay, so technically 15 more days to 1 year surviving a freaking deadly stroke. But technically it was also that same period, so you gotta have to you gotta have to understand is that my family was all very worried, and I decided to just say, you know what, I decided to go to hospital, and it was really a good thing. Yes, today is my birthday. And Cheeseburger-san, hi, hello there, how's your day? And I don't play GTA because if anyone who know me playing the Nevertheless to Nevertheless, I'm very bad at the driving in a way. Like, are you okay? Don't get me wrong, okay? I play Initial D as well as Midnight. The driving. I can't remember the driving one, but I used to play driving. Okay. But the one thing I can definitely tell you guys one thing is that I'm never good at the driving in a sense though. So can't really say too much on that end. I have to edit like that. But at the very least, can definitely say it's not easy for me though. So there's a lot of things I have to consider in a way, because it's really not easy for me to understand on how the things work or how the system go along the line. It's like thank you very much. So there's a in real life I have the driving lesson. I do have a driving license. Even when I went to Japan to stay for 6 years, I even go to their driving lesson as well. Okay, so the only issue on hand is that because after I got the stroke last year, I'm not allowed to drive. Technically, the total will allow me will give me the permission to drive. Don't get me wrong, guys. But the issue on hand is that because I did suffer from a stroke last year, it's 15 more days for me to consider at least 5 more days that I can technically I can say that I survived a freaking deadly stroke. And if you guys go and search it out, it was SAH, okay? It's the most deadly one, okay? And at the time, even to the point that half of the doctor don't dare to do the operation on me at the time. It was that stupid crazy. So but then it was really, 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 really damn bad to the point that somehow I was able to survive, and it was actually amazing in a sense. But at the very least, because of my health, I can't do a lot of stuff, and I know it's really, really crazy, but that's how it works though. The most famous university in Japan, there is, I can't really say one or two or three along the line though. There's actually quite a lot. The most, I think it's like most like depends, but if we go with the most popular in Japan, we have to at least say that is we have to at least highlight that it's the Tokyo University though. That is the most important part of, I mean, like, it's the Tokyo is our capital in a sense. But if you go to like Kyoto, there is the Kyoto Computer Gakuin, where is technically they have the university sister school along the line. And then if you go to Osaka, there is the Osaka University as well. So it's really, there's a lot of university in Japan, but it depends on which part. But if you go with Japan and the capital in a sense, I think Tokyo will be the most important, the most popular, the most famous in a way though. Do I have a job? No. So not only are you guys looking at a old man, a single old man, I'm a broke old man, as well as I'm an NEET. So 残念ながら私何もやれないんだよ。Three daughters, three virtual daughters. But I mean, like, I need to work harder as a VTuber. Yeah, Gomina, Benisan, being a broke VTuber that have kind of like trying to get, the only issue on hand is that I have to at least highlight, it's technically that the moment when I reach 1,000 subscribers or having 100 viewers CCV at the same time, I have to play a horror game. So at the moment, as of right now, I got 150 more subscribers to go, which I'm not very fond of, because you have to understand one thing is that I have to freaking play a horror game. And I think on let me open up the let me show you on in a way so that you guys can see, because I know that some of you guys might be wondering, like, is it really that I'm very bad at playing horror game? You guys have no idea. So let me see whether I can open up this window. Okay, so let me turn off my avatar for a while. So technically in my video, if you guys search this up, like, I mean, like, there's a lot of moment when I scream, but yeah, pause the music for temporary and then move out the sound. And then the one thing I will definitely say is that if you guys just click on this one got a lot of people always laughing every single time, okay? I have to at least highlight that, so please be careful of the volume. But the one thing I can definitely say is that it's not something that I fond of.
So you guys say that I'm supposed to go there, so which means I'm not supposed to go there because the thing is over there, right?
I can't say that I'm not looking out for a job in a way. I did, like, you guys have to understand one thing, but let me see whether I can. If for some reason it's not working. Let me see.
Over there because the thing is over there, right?
Let's watch this part first. Because the one thing is I can never tell you guys is that I'm just very bad at horror games. So I'm gonna There was a warning at the start, Vanessa. No, VTuber is technically being a job as well though. The one thing I have to at least highlight, right, is that technically I got a lot of people even asking me about in real life. I have worked part-time in Japan, but the issue on hand is that the reason why I couldn't stay in Japan back then was because not only is was my visa over at the time, it was actually more towards on the I have went for 2,000 plus interview and I couldn't land a job. Like seriously, I couldn't land a single job. I only managed to only land a few part-time. I have worked in high-end restaurant. I have worked as a chef, and I worked as an assistant chef, but I worked as technically a chef, a top chef. But even though I was as an assistant chef, as well as I have worked as a cleaner, I have worked in a lot of different stuff along the line. But the only issue on hand is that will I visit when I have the money? Okay, and that's to answer your question. So you can't ask an old broke man like me to do anything. So the one thing is, right, I couldn't like I couldn't land a single job in Japan, so I have to leave Japan back then, and I and not just decided to just say like, okay, how about let's return back to Singapore and see whether am I able to find a job along the line. Still couldn't land a single job. I actually did like if you guys want to know, I even go as far as going as like becoming a corporate VTuber for a company that belong to Sony, but somehow, some way, somewhat, you guys understand is way worse than, like, if you guys think that Niji Sanji is worse, well, damn, you guys have no idea that someone can even be worse than Niji Sanji in a way though. So the one thing is, right, I have worked as a corporate VTuber before, and the thing was that I thought initially that, oh, the company will provide me with an avatar. I thought the company will provide me with like advertisement, all these things, but they don't. Instead, they expect me to do every single thing, creating my own avatar, creating my persona, creating my stream, creating every single thing, and then I have to pay them. No, they like, sure, if I earn anything from them, they will pay me, but I have to pay them, and then they will pay me. It's like ridiculous, but that's how they work. So, and in a way, there was like they managed to get quite a lot of like so-called Singapore people to be interested in VTubing. And the one thing is, right, hello there, how's the day? So the thing is, right, back then there was there was quite a few streamer, but they wasn't like so-called veteran like me. So I actually have to end up teaching not one or two VTuber to become a Singapore VTuber. I actually have to teach like a lot of them to how to become a VTuber along the line, and it wasn't easy. Like I have to like teach a lot of people. I know I'm not gay, but the one thing is that I can definitely say is that I have actually teach quite a lot on how to become a VTuber at the time. Although it's still kind of like sad that I became not a
a popular VTuber though. I'm still trying to see whether I get a lot of viewers along the line, but no, I'm a straight person. So the thing is, right, I can't say was I good in teaching, but I can definitely say that if people learn and they became good at it and they became popular, I think at least I won't take credit. I mean, like, it's still their effort, all these things. I mean, it's kind of like just guiding them and hoping they can do it along the line. I mean, like, even like Japanese lesson that I'm going to teach on Friday was kind of like something similar in that sense. I'm still working on how to go about it, but it's still kind of like confusing on so many things though, because especially more towards like the system on how it workable or not, or how it will go about a lot. It's still kind of confusing in a sense though, and almost whatever is that there is a lot of things that I still checking on how to go about it. Like even the OBS, I'm still technically using Streamlab, but if I'm gonna do multi-streaming back again, I might have to consider like how am I gonna open out Stream Elemental or open up OBS along the line to see things work though. Like at the moment I'm looking at the chat, that at least I don't need to open up the system to look at every single thing, which is great in a way, but I'm still kind of like looking at things along the line though. No, Singapore people in Singapore we tend to use Britain English. Although you guys may not be aware, in Singlish we use American English with a mix to it. So yeah, if you guys ask me like elevator, escalator, yeah, we don't really use that. We use the word lift. No, you guys won't get to see my real face. You guys never know. Although I've heard that at least highlight that one of my viewers who became one of my virtual daughter was able to go up somehow, some way, somehow. It managed to track my own real life account, my Facebook account, and then realize how I look. Benny-san also know, because she has been begging for it. But in a way, yeah, Benny-san is actually asking. Like the thing is, right, I can definitely say, like, I think it's more towards like, in a way, even though I'm calling myself an old man, but the one thing is, right, the only thing that making me an old man right now is technically my white, some of my white hair, as well as my cheap, my mustache along the line. So it's kind of like one of the things that doesn't. Okay, Venice-san, I have to at least highlight one thing. Okay, I have to at least highlight one thing. Venice-san, you have to understand one thing. Neji-san take out the hint that the ARG that I set out long ago to check out on my face. And she really looked out so damn far in Facebook to find out my face. Somehow, someway, somehow she was able to track it. Good night. Hi, konbanwa. Yeah, it's actually nighttime on my end though. It's one more minute to meet Neji-san. No, the thing is, right, Veni-san, I can't really say too much, but the thing was, I give a lot of like I did drop a little ARG back then for her to look into whether she can find my Facebook. And she was able to find it. Somehow, some way, someone. That's the thing. The issue on hand is, right, she was able, like, the thing is, she really took her time and asking help to look into it, and she was able to find it. Even though it took her a few months to find it though. That's the funny thing. It's not like she can easily find it within a few days, okay? It took her a few months to find it. So the ARG, I'm not saying like whatsoever, it was actually more towards on that the ARG was really took a lot of time for her to understand on how it worked, and she was able to find it though. Somehow, some way, someone. And also, Benny-san, can I also highlight that I can somehow, somewhat manage to find your Facebook and saw the video on how you look, as well as you asking me to do the voice recording and you used my voice on your video. So, yes, I have saw the video on your Facebook. So the thing is, you guys have to understand one thing is that I have to like even though like a lot of things I have to sell is like it really does take out a lot of time and effort for me to sell the ARG back then, and I'm still looking into doing another stuff. I mean, like, I did study game creation back in Singapore Polytechnic. In case anyone want to know, it's a specialist school in studying a course, and I actually took 3 years to study game creation back then. But it was actually more on thank you for the subscribe. I did study game creation, so even though in random chat I do talk criticism in game creation at time, like the Western creation, all these things, but I did learn creating like stuff along the line, and I did consider, okay, it's just consider, but I not confirm yet on creating a game myself. I'm still working on it. I'm still not sure on how to go about it yet. I still thinking on how to work, because right now I'm still having issue with my OBS in a way to go about it, because if once the OBS is done, I will be able to stream on multiple platform at one go, hopefully on Twitter ads, whatever you want to call it, as well as other platform as well. Hoping, I'm just hoping, okay. And hello there, how's your day? So there's a lot of system I still kind of like wondering on how it working in a way, but I still kind of like need to check out on how the Steam system work, on how the stuff work along the line. But at the moment, at the very least, if that one work, then at the very least once, then I can start doing other stuff along the line, because I can't really say 100%, but I did consider streaming, creating a simple game to, I won't say like complicated game, it's actually more like psychological game. I'm still working on it, but the one thing is that I still I'm trying to see whether I can work on it, because the thing is that if you guys notice that I'm very bad at horror game to the point that I can scream at horror game, yeah, it's gonna be a bad moment if I have to do the scary moment. It's like, oh, korewai. Like even when as far as going to learn voice acting back in Japan, but I learn anime, I learn manga, but I go as far as going to an anime studio of the class to learn voice acting in Japan. That's a whole new over a lot of stuff, to the point that it's causing a lot of problem there. But at the very least, I have at least highlight that I did live in Kyoto, Japan for 6 years, which is a very good experience for me at the very least. I'm not sure whether I don't like shit, okay, but I mean, considering that I'm not a very popular VTuber, that I will have to admit on that. But maybe tomorrow I have to eat some bread. If I got bread, I will eat bread. わかんないか。それはしょうがないな。私の日本語、難しいかしら。わかんないなら、はい。バイバイ。I mean, like, you can move on with your life, you know. You want me to shut up? Maybe you should actually go to other places. Maybe you guys can actually report on that person instead. Don't leave here. But there is one person want me to shut up along the line, you know. Show it to me. Okay, I will just wait a little bit longer. I mean, like, there are some crazy people over the internet, but other than that, I mean, Yeah, there is always a moment of people causing issue over the internet, but I don't know why though.
There is always those kind of toxic people over the internet. We can't stop them.
Oh well, I mean, like there is always those kind of crazy people over the internet. We can't say too much on that end though. So Venison, I mean, technically it's pretty late really though. It's midnight, you know. I should be sleeping right now, you know. Right, 就不看啊。Okay. It is pretty late already. It's really like 12:06 already though. That's the thing. That's the concerning part. The guy own an island. Well, damn, there are some people who are damn rich to able to get that. Me, unable to, so not gonna think too much. There. 終わりですよね。Let's see. I will just put. I'm actually surprised. Okay. Let me show you on YouTube. I'm not sure whether is it possible to show it, but I'm just gonna show it for now. So, so basically, Benny-san was drawing this good. she was actually drawing this good though. So at the very least, it's actually very yeah, it's very good though. すごいですよ。Like you're doing it very nicely. Like regardless of how we think about it, it's like it's scary very good though, you know. Desho? Nice desho? Attack too. Yeah, I myself want considering of like doing a drawing live stream one day, although I might have to be careful on that end because I haven't do I've been kind of like working on it on my drawing in a sense though I still need to look through it in a way can't be sure about how the system work or not because there's still a lot of things I need to consider like you guys have to understand one thing is that there is the random chat I have to upload I have to start recording and upload along the line or as well as there is the my voice not the voice the OBS system that I can try to see whether can I get you to work along the line there's just too many things
that I have to consider and looking into it along the line. So for now, I'm kind of like trying to see whether can it be workable or not. But I think it's been in reverse. わかんないけど but for now, I think at the very least, I don't want to go and have a proper sleep. Tomorrow, I want to wake up early to see whether I can do at the very least, I'm hoping to see whether I can do Zenazone Zero update accordingly, because I want to add the one thing is, right, I want to see whether I can at least proceed with the story as far in as possible or not. Can't be 100% sure, but at the very least, I want to see whether can it be done along the line, or what's not along the line, because it's really kind of like not sure a lot of these things though. But you should go and sleep though, Vanessa. I mean, like, I am going to go to sleep myself right now. So, I think it's really way beyond my sleeping timing already. I was supposed to be sleeping like 30 minutes ago, but I'm still fine with it though. So, that being said, yeah, it's already like 11 a.m. on my end already. So, yeah, I should go and I brush my teeth before I start my stream. Okay, so don't need to worry. So that being said, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys again at the next video or live stream. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a nice day or night. Otsukare. Bye bye.